Hey guys, what's going on? I am just getting everything going right now. Give me about 30 minutes to get this going. Hugo, it's like 7:30 p.m. here. How's it going? Hey Justin. Hey Sean, how's it going? Let's see. So, I think tonight I said I was gonna do a live stream at like 8 p.m. Central Time, and I kind of got into it early. Don't mind me, guys, if you hear me chewing in the background. I'm just having my dinner, um, uh, and y'all can hear me, right? I always freak out about that. Like you can't hear what I'm saying. Can you hear me? Hello? Someone tell me you can hear me. Are you guys not hearing me? Cause the mic is telling me you can. Anybody in chat, just tell me if you can hear me. Perfect, thank you. I was like going crazy over there. I'm like, do not tell me my audio is messed up again. Welcome to the stream, Patrick. Oh, my very good friend Patrick. Patrick's from my alliance, and we're raid buddies. And I kind of told him we would be raiding. And Patrick, we're going to be raiding, and we might raid in this stream. Butterlight, how's it going? Let's see here. So, what does everyone think about these new missions and these really awesome rewards that you can get? I have to be honest. I'm a little upset because I've done so many. Like this is when a lot of people are like, "Oh, Scopely, free to play. You're all against us. Boo hoo." This is like a huge thing for free to play because all the spenders have gone through all the missions, and now we're like, "Oh, man. Seriously?" But like the free to play players are like getting these crazy ridiculous like rewards that are going. I mean, like look at this. 2.4 million. However, this bounty hunter, no way I can take him down right now. but but yeah, I mean, oh, that would be one of the nice aspects of being a free to play player and haven't done many missions. It's almost worth setting up a second account and going through the missions again and kind of seeing how different they are. But I really like that they did that to the game. Big shout out to Scopely on doing that. I think that was really cool. I am still trying to do my gas daily and hitting those damn 33s. So you guys are going to see something I haven't released a video on yet, and you got to pretend like you don't see it. I may have Saladin. And I've been playing a lot with the Saladin. Oh, it is just like a guilty pleasure. It is like such a big treat. Um, I don't I don't want to say I regret the Centurion. The one thing I don't like about the Centurion is the defense and health stat. It just cracks like an egg. Has a ton of power output, total glass cannon, but at the same time, like when you're hunting NPCs, you kind of need high defense and health stats. And I'm like, what I would say to people is if you really love Romulans and you really like Warbirds, it looks great on screen. It does, and it performs well. Um, but bang for your buck, it's the Saladin. It's the Saladin. Don't have the Bortus, but I've heard nothing but the best things about the Bortus. Let's see. It's probably about 30 to 60 seconds of delay between you saying something and us hearing it. Okay. Hugo says, luckily I leveled up my Botany Bay. I'm able to hold place 5. Pretty city. Awesome. To be completely honest, with the augment stuff, a lot of people are talking about, oh, augment this, augment that. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched the event in the slightest. I was just like, it's cool, whatevs, but I want to do other things. Let's see, but I will talk a little bit about it. I just want to go over to the Scopely Discord and post a little message, and people are probably going to give me the finger or whatnot, but like they always do. Let's see. I need to figure out getting a link for the stream. Sorry guys, I'm like kind of keeping you hanging while I'm trying to get this done here. Let's see, my channel, share, copy link. Let's see. I am live now. Come join us. Let's see. Copy that. Sorry guys, I just gotta share these links as quickly as I can here. And Patrick, I see you just sent me a message too. Let's see. Oh, your own voice comes right now. Sorry. Yeah, I gotta talk to you guys about what's been going on the server, and I'm getting hit up by a lot of messages from other players on other servers about kind of how they want to kind of manage the decorum, the issue going on between players. Are you kidding me? I literally just bought... Oh, I just bought a pack. Dang it. Oh my God. And I was waiting, and I was waiting, and I was waiting, and I was waiting, and I was like, should I buy a pack? Should I buy a pack? Yes or no? Oh my God, Gorkin. I really need to upgrade him too. Let's see. Sorry guys, I am like kind of all over the place. I still have to pay 5 million parts steel for this colony, which I don't have or want to pay. Yeah, Hugo, I worked a lot on the Saladin. I've been saving up quite a bit. Well, I have a con, but what I'm noticing is he's only tier 1 and his abilities aren't proccing as much. And my Kirk is tier 2 and his abilities proc a lot. Hey, Darmino? I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Yeah. That would be Dabo King, or the Kraken if he's still upset right now. Players, power. Kraken King right now, 3.6 million. We're not one of the most powerful servers by any means. Justin says the missions have been a bit difficult because my strongest ship isn't close to get near him. Yeah, I mean we all have that problem. The missions are definitely very difficult. Sean Sean is sharing the top player stats in chat right now. Con captain ability does not change. Just use the proper synergy. Well, that's true, Hugo. But whether or not it procs, let me just look at it. Officers. Let's see. Group. Let's see. So, Gorkin increases the chance of dealing a critical hit by 25% for the first 2 rounds. And when the ship hits the opponent with a critical hit, Gorkin has a 70% chance of causing a hull breach. So, you do have to tier him up for that to increase the chance. That's what I'm trying to get, because Hugo, you're gonna lose this. So when my Saladin was at tier 5, it did 499k damage in the first hit, and that was the end of the battle. That was it. And I don't even have Harrison yet. I was just stacking crit ability crew all together on the bridge, and they were just blowing through it. See, every hit will stack this chance on top of each other. Yep. So let's see if I can show you some of this stuff with my Saladin. Nope, that's a dumb one. I'm looking for something really cool on the very first hit. Nope. Still doing about 275,000 damage, non-critical hit. Very first hit. That's not what I want. Oh, there we go. Oh, this ship was actually... Man. It actually survived that hit. That's interesting. So, right here, my Saladin had a critical hit with its torpedo. The very first hit did 507,000 damage. Hey, no one shall. 507,000 damage. It was crazy. It was so crazy. Oh my god! I just love it. And then I did a phaser hit, and that ship was destroyed. The Saladin is just, it's so crazy, especially if you have Harrison. No one, Charles. I was just saying that I really want to spend some money now. Let's take a look at the speed up sale. Holy smokes! That's super crazy. Wow. That is so crazy. So maybe not that one. Let's take a look up at this father speed up sale. Come on, you gotta give me some trit. I need a ton of trit. Like, so much of it. There you go. Saladin and Hugo, I call it when Harry met Sally. Destroys everything. I'm really tempted to buy this Gorkin pack. I could definitely go for those shards. But I don't want to drop any more money. I dropped enough money on this game the past couple of days. It was crazy. Alright, so there's a $20 pack here. Father's Day special pack. Morale, Sulu, and Eric's. I actually like Morale. I think she's a very decent Klingon bridge officer, boosting the attack. And Sulu is definitely part of the best Federation crew. Eric's, let's see. Nope, his ability doesn't work. So I would get it if you need Morale or Sulu. Let's see here. The Spock offer is definitely a good one. If you don't have a tier 4 Spock, that is definitely a pack I would go for. There's some really decent packs in there, I have to say. Whoops, that's my alliance chat. Alright, there is an update. Commanders, delays in receiving push notifications have been a major pain point for many players. We finished working on a major improvement to the system that supports superior real-time notifications. As a result, you should now see the following push notifications arrive immediately when your starbase has been attacked and when one of your ships has been attacked. Okay, awesome. Those should be working now. Alright, well, we'll see how that goes. Right. Hugo says Sulu on max level will grant plus 40% energy damage. He's great, especially on an Explorer. And No One Shall says they give enough for Spock, but no Federation credits. Tell me about it. If you guys want to see this, I am still holding off on my Spock right now because I had to get the Saladin. I didn't have the credits. I am a little less than 600 away of Federation credits from upgrading Spock. Really excited about that. What does everyone think of these new hijacked ships? I'm curious to kind of hear your thoughts about them, because I have mixed thoughts myself. Everyone's being so quiet now. Like there's no opinions out there. So, hang on one second. I'm not going to talk with my mouth full. So the complaint I heard is one of my biggest pain points with skins. So a lot of people are talking right now in chat, and Sean says, love the color schemes, I hope they're free. No One Shall says, I want the Lego. I want the Lego? I'm not sure. Maybe he's talking about he wants a starship made out of Legos. I'm not sure. But they're expecting you to pay for half of it or wait it out. I thought it was something for the free-to-play players. Remember, guys, when I went back and said that, that's my guess. Like, I got into it with somebody on my comment feed about that. Remember what I say, and until I say this is guaranteed, best thing I'm giving you is my best guess. Hugo says, awesome ship designs, just love them. Justin says, I am working on my Spock and Sulu. The hijack ships are a good idea for free-to-play players. And King Susa says, if hijack ships make it easier for free-to-play players to get faction ships, I'm all for it. Yeah, Morkius08 says, kind of need and see how we can get them. It's true. We have no idea how you're going to be able to get them. Hugo says the Legionary. Yeah, it's beautiful. No one shall. No one shall. I actually have the D7 in Legos. That's pretty sweet, actually. Let's see. Let's just take a look at him here. So, of course, the one I want is the ISS Mayflower. That's what I'm going to call it. That's what I'm always going to call it on my channel, because I dream for the day for the Terrans to be introduced into this game. I really want the Terrans into this game so badly. Like, so bad. So, what do I think is going to happen? I think there is going to be a free-to-play player aspect to it, but I think it's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to be incredibly difficult. I think they're going to offer up the packs as well and say, hey, you know, you need 80 blueprints, here's 40 for $100. I think that's very likely what's going to happen. The problem I have with these ships is they're not different. They're just complete reskins. They're gorgeous, don't get me wrong. However, if it's an augment vessel, why is it carrying over the same attribute as the regular full version? There needs to be something different, because so many of the spenders have these ships. Why would the spenders go out and buy a reskinned vessel? And I'm sure there's going to be whales out there that be like, hey, I want to get a different looking one. However, for me, I'm like, do I really... I actually really do want the Mayflower, so I actually might end up picking it up. And I think it just looks really cool. But I've looked at the stats. I mean, every part of the stats, they're identical. Everything is identical on the ships. And I'm like, ugh. Oh my god, I'm not the biggest fan about that. I've always thought that it's okay to reskin something in a video game, but you have to add something different. Perfect example. Let's see, Marvel Future Fight. They do lots of skins on characters. For example, they have Loki, and you can reskin him as Lady Loki. And the skin ability is like a 10% additional attack bonus. So it's not that great, but it is something to enhance the character that you're using. So I think they really missed the ball on this one. I think if they're going to reskin anything in the future, you need to add something to it. Give us something. Give us something really different. I think this would have been a really great chance for them to kind of work with the augment crew abilities in a new ship. Play with them a little bit more. You know, maybe have some sort of mining bonus or station attack bonus or something like that. But nothing was ever done on it. But no, it does state get the corresponding blueprints from the Augment faction store and events to unlock the ship. And we both know, we all know that it was incredibly difficult to get blueprints for these 3 ships in the events that they ran. It was like the top 3 players of the server, and that was it. Sean says, given how they rolled out the Jelly, North Star, and I was going to say Blackberry, Botany Bay, shouldn't it be similar to that? They rolled those ships out all very differently. Botany Bay was incredibly different. Botany Bay was, you could buy it in advance, but you could actually earn it for free. And I believe the North Star, there are some players on the server that have completely earned that for free, and possibly even the Jelly. Although it's more of those two ships were more of like very perfect timing. You had to be there when the event started. No, and Charles says, as long as they don't do like what they did with the Mayflower event, give you a few BPS, then never again. Then never again. That would enrage a lot of players. To this day, I have 20 Mayflower blueprints. I don't think I'm ever going to do anything with them, but I got 20 of them. That's a really good idea. He also says, then why not sell skin packs at a cheaper price, kind of like Fortnite. I'm going to pretend like you didn't just reference Fortnite in my live stream. King Sousa says, good point. Why no difference in powers, just a skin? Exactly. Jacob Marvel says, Scopely should change the attributes if it's hijacked ships. If it's hijacked, maybe exclude using Fed crew, for example, on the Mayflower. It's a really good point, because the Mayflower is built for Federation crew. Sean, I'm really hoping that there's some sort of advantage to these ships. I have a feeling, and I think you might be onto something there. I have a feeling that they can't... No one shall... Don't even give me that face. I know why you're giving it to me right now. But I have a feeling that these ships may not be attacked by bounty hunters. And Don Glass says, do you think that they will come out with ships from the original movies or shows, like the Excelsior or Voyager? Or do you think it will only be from the Kelvin timeline? That's a really good question, Don. If you scroll down my videos, I actually I do a video on an article I read. And Scopely is trying to incorporate all of Star Trek. So, the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, Discovery, all the movies, they want to encompass all of this and even turn this into a platform game. And I think that would be really cool. I think it would be really cool to get a whole bunch of different crew, because I think if they don't do that, what they're going to have to end up doing is creating these random crew members. And we're going to be like, who's this? This is no one I've ever known about. But if they could bring in, like I would die for a Michael Burnham any day. Like, I'm a huge Star Trek Discovery fan, and it gets so much crap. And I will tell you right now, just so I'm being honest with you, I love Star Trek Discovery. And that is coming from a fanboy of Star Trek since I was like 9, and I am 39. And I've watched Star Trek ever since I sat down in my parents' living room when I was 9 years old watching Star Trek Next Generation. And I love Disco. And King Sousa says he got a free jelly. He doesn't have a North Star. And Hugo says, I got a free North Star, but no jelly. And No One Shall says, well, the Kelvin, I think he's talking about the USS Kelvin, is in the game from the Founder server. Yeah, the Founder server, if you guys get a chance to talk to players on the Founder server, there is just like crazy things that have gone on the Founder server, which was the beta server. They were able to test so many things, and I was watching some videos. I was watching some of Econ, some of Morgan's, talking to those guys, and it was crazy what they were showing me. But they were beta testing the USS Kelvin on that server, along with several other ships. I think the problem is right now Scopely doesn't have licensing to do anything other than JJ films, and so I think it's going to be kind of stuck with those ships. However, they can be very creative and use ships of the timeline, even if they weren't in those series or those movies. I agree. We need a spore drive, especially in this game when it takes me 25 minutes to do a mission. We need a spore drive, for the love of God. Sean says, why is there no checkoff? We've talked about this before, and it was more in respect to the actor who passed away, who played Chekhov in the movies. So it was more of a it was either a respect or they couldn't obtain the licensing. Justin, I agree. I would love Discovery to be in this game so much, especially like the Chancellor Laurel's like humongous city ship. Like, I don't know what that thing is, and it just appears out of nowhere on decloaks, and I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, how is she powering that cloaking device? That ship is huge. Let's see. Hugo says, why not a Commander Targaryen? Chris says, more missions that give RSS like Trit. I agree, and I was talking about this earlier, and I think they did a really good job with boosting the rewards in the missions. So Jacob Marvel says, do you think they will create crossover grouping, like say allowing science officer builds or tactical officer builds and skin upgrades could be beneficial directly with these kinds of builds? I've always liked a whole bunch of strategy. I'm a very, very analytical person. As you can tell, I am not an entertainer, and I try like really hard to bring like the really small entertainment part of myself to my live streams, and it's so incredibly difficult for me. Like, I'm a big introvert, huge nerd, huge geek, comic book reader, very analytical. But when it comes to like strategy games, I would love to see something like that. But not a lot of people are that way. When it comes to mobile games, there is not a lot of people who want complex strategy. However, Jacob, I think that would be very important to think about if they are going to do a platform like PlayStation 4, Xbox. If they're going to be doing a game, the platform gamers love their strategy. And King Sue said that was the rumor. So he says, and we should see a USS Vengeance down the line. That was the rumor of the augment ship that was coming out. Fortis, if you watch Fortis, and if you don't, definitely check him out. He's our Canadian content creator. He was wondering if it was going to be the USS Vengeance. Chris, congratulations. I definitely love the Centurion. I think it's a great ship. Chancellor Wong says, hey, what ship is better for a PvP, Jellyfish or North Star? I will tell you right now, if you want a ship for a long-term game, go with your North Star. Hugo says it's the Klingon Cleave ship. Yeah, it's humongous. And if you haven't checked out Star Trek Discovery, and you're like, oh my god, it's horrible because everyone else says it's horrible, check it out. Just get the trial and watch both seasons. It's so amazing. I love it. So Don Glass says, I'm up to the point where I need command badges. Is there a level of NPCs I should target for them to drop? Will I come across them in missions? Don, the only way I've gotten mine is by buying packs. No one shall. You're brand new. No one shall. How long have you been creating content for the game? So no one shall says, "Dang, don't even mention me as a content creator." And Jacob Marble says, also, as we are waiting on armadas, yeah, exactly. Do they have any intention of allowing capture points that alliances would hold to defend building up points within a certain time frame? This could be an NPC faction. I don't think so, Jacob. I think what I really like the idea of is I like the idea of NPC stations to raid. I like that idea because it can input so many resources back into the game. Because there's so many people, I mean, on our server specifically, that all of the resources are held by a couple of people, and they're shielded up forever. And Hugo just retracted his message. And No One Shall says Star Trek Discovery is dark and gritty. It's amazing. I know. I love it. And Chris says, I have seen some in missions. Then I would definitely do those missions. No One Shall, do not give it up. I started this channel off as like, I literally started my channel off like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a YouTuber. You know, no biggie. And I started making videos on my phone. And Sinky did a lot for my channel. He helped me out a lot with it. So if you ever need any help, feel free to reach out to me, and I will definitely help you out with what I can. And speaking of which, how are we doing on that little event? I can't see it here. Dang it. 1 second here. Let me go back to the game and make sure no one is raiding my base while I am chatting with you. Perfect. Okay. And let's check out YouTube and your channel. We are sitting at 658 subscribers. And let's take a look here. Oh, it was just 4 days ago. So 4 days ago, I posted that contest announcement, and I was at, let's see, how many was I at? I believe it was 593. So in that time, in 4 days, I gained 65 subscribers. May not seem like a lot, but that's so huge. Sean says, I would kill for the original series ships and crews to be introduced. I like the more modern look ships. I have to admit, I like the more modernization. Chancellor Wong says, how far can you push a max tier jellyfish in terms of operation level? And somebody asked, you know, would you go with a North Star or jellyfish? Here is No One Shall. So, here's what I would say about the North Star and jellyfish. Your jellyfish will probably take you into level 20, maybe 21, maybe 22. My North Star has taken me into level 29. I stopped using my jellyfish a long time ago. My North Star is Warp 40 capable, so it can get to Warp 40 mining systems. My jellyfish is long gone. Like, I don't even use that thing. I might put it out on my dock and take a look at it and be like, oh, it's so pretty. But for the most part, never use that thing. So if you want, oh, Seiki's on. So if you want to know what ship you should be investing in, if it's a North Star or a jellyfish, strongly suggest you invest in that North Star. It will be with you for a very long time and serve you well. Butterlight says, don't forget that the Science Command Engineering badges are a potential drop from the Faction Loyalty Pack 2s. Butterlight, I hope you're not buying them. Sean says, also in the new Alliance profiles, it shows tourneys for admirals. Any inside info? Well, let's take a look. Let's see. Alliance. Let's see. Oh, my blue text still has the old version. Dang it! I'll have to check that out later, Sean. No, and I will tell you this about YouTube and about subscribers. I think for all of us, we all have our voice, and like, and you can ask a lot of people in this chat room. They all like certain YouTubers, and they might watch other YouTubers, but there's some subscribers that will go specifically to a YouTuber because they like, quote, their voice. They like what they see. They like the angle that YouTuber is coming from. And I'm lucky enough to have some of them. A lot of them are on my stream right now, and they're incredibly supportive, and they're the best people in the world to me. And so I think you'll eventually get to that point. Like Sync, are you still on? How long did it take you to get your subs up to, what do you got, 1,800? Is he on? He should still be on. But no, I mean, it definitely takes some time. It takes a lot of effort. And for me, I think what my subscribers have come to know is I'll always advocate for them as a typical gamer. If I don't agree with something, I'm not just going to sugarcoat it and be like, you know, this is this is really cool. I'm going to ask questions, and I'm going to disagree. You guys have seen on my page of basically videos of where I do that. So, but at the same time, I want to keep things positive and fun. I think we all come here to play a game, and that's what we want to do. And speaking to that point, I don't know what's going on in your guys' servers, but did people eat a whole bunch of crazy pills this week? Like, I'm just going to vent for a hot minute here. I have no idea what was going on our server. There was so much craziness among alliances going on. I mean, I had little baby alliances like approaching me, and they're like, "Oh, it's war." I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, "What are you gonna do in your Tala?" And it was just so incredibly crazy, and I'm like, "What is going on this week?" Like, everyone is up in arms and just going at it. And I think basically what was going on is we've had this stage of peace for quite some time, and people are just itching to fight. And they just want to fight really bad. And so I think it's about time where people, get that out of their system and whatnot, and whatever they're going to do. Don't get me wrong. If people come for me, they should probably be ready for it. So, because I'll definitely defend my guys. And as you guys can see here, alliances, power. The Terran Imperium is the second most powerful alliance on our server. So Justin says, I really think there is so much potential to this game. I have seen so many stop when it gets decent. Being an old school gamer, I can see the potential to the game thanks to the influence of Star Trek. I can play games again. I agree. I really love Star Trek games, and if any of you guys like to play PC games, definitely the best game ever made for Star Trek was Star Trek Birth of the Federation. Came out for Windows 95. I still play it to this day. I'm literally looking at the laptop on my desk right now that is specifically for playing that game. Every time I burn out the disc, I will go to Amazon and I will buy another one, and somebody has made a copy of this game. It is entirely amazing. But with that being said, they haven't really come out with that many games that do Star Trek justice, or that are actually indeed playable. Because I think so many of the games that are out there, I'm not including Star Trek Online because that's an amazing game. But a lot of the games for the platform, it was so awkward and so weird. And so that's the thing about this game, is I'm glad they really came out with this game, because I think it does Star Trek justice. There's some things that need to be fixed, definitely, but there's a lot of potential here. No One Shall says, why you know mining data right now for the event? Because it's stupid. Let's see. Chris says, where did Chris's comment go? Chris says, sorry, I was wrong about the missions, but they are in the loyalty pack too, but you need to be associate first. True. Only thing Star Trek Discovery annoyed me with... Okay, no one shall. Let's see. What are we going to get here? Only thing Star Trek Discovery annoyed me with was the last episode with the original Enterprise. Kind of like they backtracked, to be honest. I don't think so. I thought with everything that they were doing with Star Trek Discovery, they had to go to the future. They had to leave that timeline because there was so much tech that didn't make sense for the timeline. And I love that timeline. Like, I loved Enterprise. I loved all those stories. They were so great. But for what they wanted to do with Discovery, they needed to be in the way, way far out future. And Hugo says, the North Star is very handy when properly upgraded. You can reach insane mining rates for G3. It's true. And the more health you have on the G3, the faster it mines, for those of you who didn't know. So, Sean, did you say your North Star is at 56k away from dock, but I'm at 20, so that it's about done for me? What does that mean? Yes, I agree with you, Noah and Shell. So he says, my North Star is my sacrificial lamb at this point, using the 2-ship trick. Oh, in Augment Space, I think you're talking about. I definitely use my North Star to bash into bases to see if anyone's home. Because if they're home... Let's see. If they're home, then I kind of use that because it's a lot cheaper to repair than many of my ships. Hey, Pixelated Reality, how's it going? And Mike wants to see my upgraded North Star. He would like to see the protected cargo, please. There is none. I can definitely show it to you. There is no protected cargo on it. But that is not the reason it's great. So mine's not even maxed yet. Mine's at 273,000. And let's see what tier. It is at tier 8, I believe. Let's see. Let me go back here. Assign officers. One spot. I believe it's tier 9 or tier 10 it maxes out at. However, by itself, it has a warp range of 39. With Scotty, it's 44. And it's super fast, and it's super strong. So we have a rule on our server that warp 40 mining systems, you cannot hit anyone that's over the limit, you cannot hit anyone on a 0 node. Those are the rules. You break them, you will be DK'd like crazy. Those are the rules in that system, and it's worked for us so far. I don't know how much longer it's going to work because more and more people are hitting warp 40, and it might need to increase to like warp 50 or warp 45. But that's what the North Star is great for, is you can send it out there, fill it up. Mine can do about, 11K cargo capacity. And the protected cargo is 1,105. It's not much there. But what you can do with this ship is a little crazy. You got to babysit it a little bit. But in the mining event, I was mining, like 15,000 G3 in an hour or so. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. Sinky, I know there's a new update. And no one shall. So if you go, I can't even show you because I haven't updated my app. But if you go into the Federation faction store, no one shall got put into the game. It's exactly how he looks. Yes, guys. I know I need to update the app. I can't do it midstream. All right, I'm trying to read through all these comments here. That's why I'm being a little quiet right now. Hugo, that's funny. There's an AOD alliance on our server as well, and me and the leader are not seeing eye to eye right now. That's the best way to put it. No One Shell says, why not run a virtual machine to run Windows 98 so you don't have to have that old laptop? That might make a lot of sense. And Jacob Marvel says, Star Trek Online does well for sure. If you haven't played Star Trek Online, you definitely need to check it out. It is so much fun. It is such a great game. And I'm going to go off on a limb and say that's where they're getting the story for Star Trek Picard from Star Trek Online. If you read the disclosure very closely, it basically says you are going to be creating content by playing these stories for us, and we are going to be monitoring your feedback and whatnot. And that's why everything they do is free, is because they just send it over to CBS and say, kind of, here's what's happening. And they do so many different tests, so many different testing on the content when the actual fans are playing it and they're engaging in it. Sinky, how can you hate Star Trek Online? That makes no sense. None. Sean says, the bigs are bored and it's taken a while for the new class to get up there. How many times can you all keep fighting the same players you've been playing since November? It's all about motivation. A lot of people come to this game and they're like, I just want to shoot everyone all the time. And I'm like, I just kind of want to play the missions. I think they're cool. And the ships, they're cool too, and I'm going to spend hundreds of dollars on them. Sync was talking about Star Trek Online, and he's saying the away missions are so poor, but when in ships it's so good. I agree. In Star Trek Online, if you're a person who you're like, oh my god, I want to be the United Federation of Planets, don't choose it in Star Trek Online. At least not first. You can do so much more strategy with a cloaking device, and to supercharge your torpedoes when you're about to decloak. And I always like to get to like hover in the aft section of the enemy ship, because I know aft shields are typically the weakest. Like power up the torpedoes, decloak, and just fire away. I like strategy like that. I think that's so much fun. So Chris asks, "What tier is your Centurion, and how are you finding the upgrade costs?" Well, let me swap this out for my Legionnaire, and so I would say they're not horrible. They're not horrible at all. Um, it definitely takes some time. Um, but I would say the upgrade costs, they're definitely really high. It's a lot of trits. Oh, but one thing I want to share is some research. A teammate of mine showed this to me. This right here. So, if you have a faction ship, you need to max these researches. Basically, what it's going to do, the cost efficiency for upgrading Federation ships increased. I'm just reading Hugo's comment and I have to go look at that. So what I've noticed with this is when you do this right here, you're going to be like, well, why are my upgrade costs the same? They are going to be the same. What you're going to notice is that if you have an upgrade that's 15 million titanium and I have 15.1 and you upgrade it, you're gonna walk away from that with like 6 million titanium. So it's not going to use everything that is needed, but you're not going to see it. And it's really hard to explain that unless you do it. So what I would say is if you have a faction ship, definitely work on these researches. These repair costs, of course, they go without saying. Repair costs have gotten to be so crippling in this game. I mean, my Saladin takes 5 hours and 40 minutes to repair right now. It sucks. Where's Alexander Marcus? I'm curious where this is. Nope, definitely not there. Oh yeah. Oh, he's section 31. So at the start of each round, if the opponent's HHP, I'm assuming that's health hit points, is under 80% of its starting total, Alexander Marcus has an 80% chance of starting morale. Hmm. Interesting. That's actually really cool. So, um, so yeah, thanks to Hugo, we see a new crew member being added, and curious to see how that's going to play out. These Section 31 crew members are definitely a different breed, because I think Yuki is good against Romulans, uh, Zoe is good against Klingons, and Harrison against Feds or Explorers. Yeah, it's weird. There's a John Harrison in the con. Hugo, I've actually checked out the Birth of the Federation mod site, and their new game they came out with. It was that was good, and it's completely free to download. I think it's Star Trek Supremacy. Check that out. So Pixelated Reality says, I've reached a plateau. I'm 18 and all my ships are not powerful enough to complete the combat stages of missions. So you're definitely going to hit a plateau. You're going to hit a wall. And there's several walls in the game. And really the only thing to do to get through them is to either spend or wait and refine. And you have a waiting period to get through. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate that recommendation. No One Shall says, at first Star Trek Online wasn't good. It got good after. And I want to say that as well. Because I remember checking it out a little super long time ago, and I was like, I couldn't get off Starfleet headquarters. I was like, screw this. And I turned it off. So Sean has also brought up, hey Jansen, what about base defense crews? So let me just show you guys why no one really talks about them. So base defense crews. So those would include, let's see. Okay. So Mitchell, Carroll, and Keenser. Really good base defense crew. Really hard to get. Keenser, he's super easy to get. But he needs the other two. And those other two are super hard to get. You can do, let's see. Increase hull health, and then he increases shield health of the ship by 20% when it's in the station defending. This is the problem with the station defense crews. Oh, here we go. We got Zara, Mbenga, and 0718. The problem for me is their stats are so low. They're so incredibly low. He increases the defense of all officers on the ship by 9% as an officer, and increases the critical hit chances by 4% as a captain. They're like very cadet version-ish. Jabilo Mbenga, when defending the station, Mbenga increases the armor piercing, shield piercing accuracy of the ship by 10%. But I mean, the stats on him are 12, 19, and 10. Nothing. Zara, same thing, stats are so incredibly low. And Sean had asked about this before, and I kind of shied away from it because I didn't want to be like, oh, they suck. But that's the biggest problem, is there isn't a great station defense crew. Because when people are like, oh, can you tell me about station defense crew? My follow-up question is, don't think you can't shield. The best station defense crew you can have is called a bubble. And Jacob Marvel says, speaking of missions, that is something that is currently lacking. We need more missions, as in my server, I think half the conflicts result from boredom. It's very true. That has always been my my concern with the game, is where's the game? Where's the game content? I'm like, there's a couple of missions. Every time they come out with missions, 15 minutes later, everyone's finished them. So Sean says, Jansen, can I get a shout out for a sister member in UFO? She's getting married tomorrow. Check Cause Media. Congrats, Nessa. Congratulations, Nessa, on getting married. Jacob says, there are some officers that reduce repair time. Which do you find more important, reducing that or spending the speed ups but having a stronger crew? Jacob, I would go with a stronger crew with much stronger abilities more often than not. Because your opponent, especially if you're doing PvP, your opponent's going to be doing that as well. So you definitely want to match them on that. And GHJGGHGHHFFH, that's his name, or her name. He says, try a Kang crew on your Centurion. Do you mean a Gorkin crew? Because Kang the Conqueror is in Marvel. Hugo says, base defense crew. The white one, the white ones in 0718 is not really worth it. I agree. The Klingon Patriot crew must be strong inside the Centurion. Actually, what I use on the Centurion actually works pretty well, because the Klingons rely on torpedoes, and the Centurion has phasers. It might have one torpedo launcher. And so I just use Kirk, Spock, Sulu. So Barot's officer ability got fixed. So he actually damages the hull if he's captain and you get attacked. Or lowers the hull. So let's... how about we do some raids? I want to do a raid. Do it on live stream. Be like, and just an announcement for everyone. Hey, I'm coming out raiding. So if you're on my server and you don't want to get raided, bubble up. If you're not shielded up, I'm going to assume you want me to come over for milk and cookies. So let's take a look here. Let's recall you. Oh, who's this? Well, you got nothing. And this Nova player has got a lot, but won't lower his shields. Yeah, there's nothing there. Not a whole lot there. Man, these stations are poor. However, Manage. Sean, I'm doing it. He's trying. He didn't learn the first 5 times I did this to him. So I've been playing with this guy a lot. He has a lot of resources, not so much right now, but a lot of resources, and refuses to bubble. I've hit him 3, 4 times in a row, and refuses to bubble. So till he learns how to bubble, I'm gonna pop him. Sean's like, man. Whoa, battle axe is drained. Man, I'm not finding anything. I went over here and I drained one base. Not gonna say who. That would be rude. But it was a really good one. Oh, Iser. Man, so many bases are just drained of everything. I'm looking for about 30 million titanium. That's my buddy Rob. He quit the game. There's definitely been a lot of people lately have been quitting this game over personality conflicts and toxicity, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, I think a lot of people are getting super upset and out of hand because they're just bored. Vilson, what are you? How? Oh my god, I didn't even know you checked out my channel. That's a good idea. Yeah. Not much over here. But Vilson was saying go and check out, let's see, Zorak. I know that's one of the systems people will port into to get to augment space. Let's do a little zoom in action. Oh, that's way too zoomed in. Why does it zoom in like a microscope? Alright. There we go. No! Dang it. Oh my god. I knew that was going to happen. I hate that. My game isn't updated, so I can't recall. Damn it. Oh, hello. Yeah, quite a deal there. Yowza. I appreciate that, Bilson. So we found one, but we just saw him move into his little station. I gotta zoom back out here because that's driving me crazy. Jeez. Okay, let me try this. Alright, that's a little bit better. Yeah, this has been one of the things that have been preventing me from leveling up to level 30 is not being able to hit level 20 anymore. There's so many things you lose and gain by leveling up. Jacob, who are you? Who are you in the game? I can show you guys Earth. Not sure if I can, because I just got warp 50, so I'm not for sure. I don't think I've gone up to those systems yet. So I can show you Sol. So this is actually, it's actually pretty cool, because if you look at the Earth, the sun is over here, so it's getting the sunlight bouncing over here, and then the left-hand side of the planet is all dark, and you can see the night light going through the continents. It's a really cool effect, I think. It would be kind of cool if there was a rotation, but you can kind of see the moon, Mercury, so you can see the planets of the solar system. There was a mission here. I finished it. Are you really? Jacob. So, Jacob just told me he was a very good friend of mine on my server, and I had no idea, no clue. Oh my god. You know who I actually thought you were? Was Spooky from INT. Because I was looking at your picture, I'm like, is that Spooky? Why would he be on my channel right now? I don't think he likes me very much. So yeah, so I mean, it's really cool. You can kind of, once you have the chance to get here, it's kind of like, it kind of it's just kind of like coming home when you can finally get to the system, and then after that wears off, you're like, oh, whatever, level 67 or level 60 system. Same thing with Kronos, and same thing with Romulus. But yeah. So, my poor ship, I cannot recall it right now. Has anyone played with the new recall feature in the update? I'm going to say that while I take a bite of my dinner. Exactly, Brad. All hail the Terran Imperium. That is right. I wish I could curse on the stream, but I can't. Oh, who's this? Damn it, Kinky! Kinky, I thought it was Cheers. I was like, oh, damn it. You hit me with the botany bay. Yeah, there's a new recall feature. So mid warp, apparently you can recall. Oh my god, Kiki. Oh yeah? Not showing up for me, I'm trying it out. Does anyone see it on the new update when you go to warp that you can still hit recall? I don't think so. Ain't having those shenanigans. Hey, Cake. I think you scratched my paint job. You come out again. Okay. Oh my god. Love it. I think I just saw it and assumed it was working. Okay. Yeah, so I think they're going to. I think that is one thing they're definitely working on. Is a variation of a recall or a cancel or a stop, something to that effect. Katie, it definitely takes some time. Katie says nothing ever works right in this game. It's very true. I will. The one thing I will say to Scopely is, for anyone that's done mobile gaming, we'll also be able to tell you that this isn't specific to Scopely. When I played Marvel Contest of Champions for 4 years, there were so many bugs in that game. So many bugs. But it was, I mean, we were all addicted. Hey, Kink, I kind of want to go on radio right now. I could use your tritanium. He runs back. I don't think he's running away from me. For the people who are watching, Kink is not the kind of person that will run away from a fight. He will go into it even if he knows he's going to lose, just to spite you. But let's take a look at Kink's, no, that's the one where he bashed into me. He took 242,000 damage there, 102,000, and he was... Kink, that's unfortunate. 2 hits. Pow pow dead. Oh, excuse me. Alright, let's see. So I would love to do more raids with you guys. Unfortunately, I don't want to broadcast my raids. Before I end this stream here tonight, were there any final questions? I feel like I'm forgetting something that I really wanted to talk about, and it's driving me crazy now that I don't know what it was. But I'm definitely going to be working on the Saladin video. I made sure to grab the clip of it rolling out of the space dock. What else is there? Oh, also I need to do the video on the Klingon crew, who works and who doesn't, and for what purpose. I'm kind of excited because I haven't had a good interceptor in this game yet. So the Saladin is a breath of fresh air for me. So I'm gonna definitely play with that. Other than that, We are I w- we are definitely going to have fun with this hijacked event. I have a feeling it is hopefully is going to be a breath of fresh air. I think after the last mining event, people were so burnt out, and then there wasn't a rare refinery day, and people got so upset. Yeah, the toxic chat. So that it's been like one of these things like um RPG MMOs, like players talking to players. I don't understand why like so many players get so toxic about anything with each other. It's been something we've been dealing with on our server, and honestly, it's been a real drag. It's been one of those things where I'm like, do I really need to come on here and tell you guys how to act? I really don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. Um, and it is just it's so unappreciated. Um, you know, we had an admiral today go off in our global diplomacy. Not today, a couple days ago or a day ago, and I was like, what the? He used the B word and he went off, and it was like kind of like hit me out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I've been hearing these rumors, and people were spreading rumors, and then I had another player like get in my face about one of my players, and she tried throwing some threats around, and I was like, you DK one ship of mine, you'll be KOS, and I will come and hunt you down. Um, and it's been like so much unnecessary drama and BS. And so, kind of what I do with my group is I don't really let them know all that is going on. I try to like protect them from all that stuff. And so a lot of them don't even know any of this is going on. They probably will if they're watching the stream. But I think that's what an alliance leader does is kind of you manage through all that stuff because one of your biggest roles is making sure it's a fun game for all the people you lead in your alliance, in your own little family. So I guess my only ask out there is like um, keep it fun. I mean, we're here to have fun. We're not here to like be like take our real world problems and bring it into the game and have all this drama and have all this toxicity. Um, at the end of the day, you're coming here to have fun. Just remember that when you're playing this game. I mean, I see it on Discord. I see it on the Scopely Discord server. I see it everywhere. Um, and Justin says your server isn't the only one where people are cryberries. Too much drama. I get it on my server too. Yeah, it's all over on like every server, and it's like seriously, people. I mean, I hear these like mind games of people writing letters to Scopely about what this person said, and they're all trying to target a certain person, and I'm just like, really? I mean, you honestly have time for that? I'm like, if you have time for that, play the game. Katie says I'm on 3 servers, and honestly, the server I'm on with you, Jansen, is probably the most laid back and fun. Kind of scary. It's just it's like there's so much of this game that's all about the head game and playing that head game, and a lot of people love that head game. Um, and so like if people call me out or whatnot, I'll be like, oh my god, something else I have to deal with. I had to deal with certain comments today, or this week. Like I always want to foster this atmosphere of letting all of my subscribers come to me with anything they have to say. And I always say keep it constructive. It can be negative, but keep it constructive. And I had one player. I had 2 people One person commented on my video, another person commented on the Scopely Discord, where he goes, "Oh, so I have 1/700th of a chance to earn 1/4 of a pack. Do not talk about things you're not aware of. You are." I think he said something about you're spreading misinformation. And so I eventually just like I said my piece and just like blocked him and let it go. Um, and so it was interesting. I didn't think a video about me wanting to give out money for having my subscribers share the channel to get other people to subscribe would cause so much frustration. I think that was kind of like for me that it was it felt really raw. I'm like, here I am. I thought I was doing something nice, and I had somebody on the Scopely Discord who didn't approve of it and went on to say that the contest should be a lot more engaging and entertaining and should probably do some artwork. Um, and I was like, okay, well that's a bit constructive. I don't think so, Vilson. You get the hell away from me with your Saladin. uh, you get away from me. um, but it was just really weird. It was kind of like I was being called out on it, and I'm like, oh jeez. So it's kind of funny when it comes to the YouTube channel. This is one thing for our new YouTuber and Noel. Oh dang it! Hang on one second. I forgot his name. No one shall. Piece of advice I would send to him is you never know how people are going to approach whatever you have to tell them or how you have to tell them. That has been the one thing I've learned about running this YouTube channel. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for chiming in and engaging in this stream. I love having you guys here. I think it's a good time. Remember, I am going to be doing this live stream every other Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time, and probably a pop-up live stream sometime during the week. So definitely come back and check it out. Other than that, you guys take care, have a good time, and I will talk to you soon.